Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a card game and series of animes that have run for a long time. The franchise is on its 7th installment, and in this video, I will go over something all of the protagonists have done to some extent. That is, cheating. I will cover them from the most honest duelist to the biggest cheater. Some ground rules are that most of the randomness from Duelist Kingdom won't count, as well as speed spells, skills, and sadly, action cards. The reason is these are all parts of special altered formats, altered versions of the rule sets, so I can't count them. The exception is Duelist Kingdom, because that is the only time in the history of the anime that the game is played without special rules. Also, sorry in advance if I switch between English and Japanese names. Playmaker, a protagonist who never lost. Many people would consider it cheating whenever he uses Storm Access or Neo Storm Access. However, I'm going to say that is not cheating in the context of this list, because he only ever used that skill in speed duels where skills were allowed, as opposed to other characters who used skills outside of speed duels. The only instance of Yusaku cheating that I can think of is in his final duel against Bowman, when Ai goes into Bowman to try and disable the neural link. Although this was not by Yusaku's command or anything like that, it is still someone trying to cripple, disable his opponent, so I'm counting that as cheating. Yusei Fudo, the star of 5Ds. Yusei, like many characters in 5Ds, do some crazy things using speed spells. I will not be counting speed spells on this list, because they were allowed under the rules of turbo dueling. What I will be counting are things like summoning monsters that he doesn't have, and other characters even commenting on those summons, such as the time Yusei summoned Majestic Star Dragon, and the time he summoned, I believe it was Draco Knight Dragon Quest? Not sure on that one. Anyway, he also cheats by a much more traditional method. During his duel against a prison warden, he switches the locations of 2 of his face-down cards. While this is a small infraction of the rules, it still makes this list. Some people are going to bring up his first duel against Kallen, where he avoids losing because Yusei's motorcycle broke down. I'm not going to count this as Yusei cheating, because he got stabbed up pretty bad as a result of it. Jaden Yuki, the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist not to have Yu in his given name. Well, almost all protagonists have an imaginary friend that they take advice from. Jaden has many. All of the Neospatians and Yubel. The Neospatians aid him so much that in one duel, either Aqua Dolphin or Air Hummingbird, I can't remember which, flat out tells Jaden to tribute it for Elemental Hero Prisma and use that to bring out Rainbow Neos. There is also his duel against Yubel, where he uses super polymerization to keep either of them from winning. I do not know what the ruling on fusing your opponent's soul with your own soul is, but I'm sure it is not allowed in the rulebooks. Yuma Tsukumo, the star who relies most on magical girl-length transformation sequences. Yuma has access to the power Shining Draw, which lets him get whatever card he needs, whenever he needs it, in order to win a duel, even if it means he has to create said card. In addition, he has the power World Recreation, which lets him replace a card in his hand with another card. However, Yuma's greatest offense likely comes from the duel between Bronk and number 96, where Yuma is being held captive by 96, and eventually pretends to be mind and body servant of 96, telling 96 to destroy a set card after explaining his opponent's strategy. 96 does so, only to reveal that Yuma was actually telling him the wrong strategy, sabotaging 96's efforts, and winning his opponent the duel. Yuma flat out went and sabotaged someone's game. Atem, the protagonist of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! To keep this entry from being an hour long, I'm simply going to say 90% of the original show, as Yugi only plays like 4 duels himself, and every other time he's just swapping out for the Pharaoh. Let me do this part in my best impression of Yuya. By replacing half my hand and most of my deck in the middle of one duel, I invent pendulum summoning, swing a far pendulum, and carve the arc to a massive amount of cheating. I think I just summed up a lot of Arc 5 right there. Plus, like Jaden, he has many imaginary friends. And while I sadly can't count action cards on this list, although I really wish I could, he uses those frankly too much.